Welcome to the edge of the world. We are in the heart of the Siberian wilderness, a place so unforgiving that the air itself turns to ice crystals before it hits the ground. The temperature is a staggering -75 degrees Fahrenheit. In this white void, life is impossible for the weak. Yet, standing amidst the howling wind is a figure of impossible beauty. Meet Ava. From a distance, she looks like a woman who stepped out of a fashion magazine. Flawless skin, piercing eyes, and an elegance that defies the cold. But as the wind blows her heavy fur coat open, the illusion of humanity is shattered. Ava has no skin on her torso. Where a stomach should be, there is a chaotic, mesmerizing nest of exposed technology. A tangled mass of colored wires, ribbon cables, motherboard circuits, and glowing blue cooling tubes pulse with energy. It looks like the inside of a supercomputer violently fused with a human form. On her neck, a flap of synthetic skin hangs loose, revealing the fiber optic cables and hydraulic pistons that allow her to move. She does not shiver. She does not bleed. She is a marvel of engineering, running on a nuclear fusion core designed to conquer the cold that would kill human in minutes. But Ava is not alone. Surrounding her is a pack of living, breathing souls, real Siberian Huskies. These dogs are not machines, they are flesh and blood, relying entirely on this synthetic guardian for their survival. They jump around her, their warm breath creating clouds of steam against her cold metal frame. Ava pets them with a hand that looks human, but is powered by servos and steel. She may not have a heart that beats with blood, but she protects these dogs with a programming so advanced it looks like love. In this frozen wasteland, she is their alpha, their provider, and their only hope. Survival in Siberia requires fuel. For Eva, that fuel is electricity. For her dogs, it is meat. Today, the pack is hungry, but there are no rabbits or deer in this frozen desert. The food lies hidden beneath 2 meters of solid ice. Eva drags her sled onto the surface of a massive frozen lake. Her internal sensors scan the ice density, her eyes zooming in like high-tech camera lenses. She finds her spot. She doesn't need a drill. She removes her glove, revealing titanium fingers, and begins to chip away at the ice with terrifying robotic strength. Sparks fly from her joints as metal strikes frozen water, a violent display of power. Finally, the black water bubbles up from the deep. Eva drops a thick line into the abyss. The dogs wait, their ears perked, watching their mother. Minutes pass in silence. Then a sudden, violent jerk. The line goes taut. Whatever is down there is massive. It's a battle between nature's prehistoric strength and man's greatest machine. Eva's internal cooling fans spin up to maximum speed. You can hear the whirring sound coming from the exposed wires in her stomach. Her internal lights turn red as she engages high power mode. She pulls. The line cuts into her synthetic skin, peeling it back to reveal the silver steel underneath. With a final hydraulic heave, she drags the beast onto the ice. It is a monster, a Siberian pike weighing over 65 pounds. The giant fish thrashes wildly, its teeth snapping, scaring the dogs back. It is a catch that would be impossible for a human, but for Eva, it is just a calculation of weight and force. As the water from the fish splashes onto her exposed motherboard, tiny electrical sparks fizzle in the cold air. She holds the creature down, her face expressionless, while the dogs howl in victory. The sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the snow in shades of violet and bruised orange. The journey back to the cabin is a surreal sight. Ava walks with the grace of a runway model, yet she carries a massive 65-pound fish on her shoulder as if it were a feather. The slime and icy water from the catch drip down onto the exposed circuitry of her stomach, but she marches on. Her pack of huskies trots beside her, their eyes fixed on the prize. They know that tonight they will feast. Inside the rustic wooden cabin, the atmosphere changes. Ava butchers the fish with surgical precision, dividing the meat among her loyal companions. She watches them eat, sitting by the fire. She cannot taste the food. She cannot feel the warmth of the digestion. But as she watches the dogs wag their tails and settle down with full bellies, her system registers a sense of completion. This is her purpose. Now it is her turn to feed. She does not eat. She walks over to an old humming generator in the corner of the room. She pulls a thick black power cable from her chest cavity and plugs herself in. This is her lifeline. The dark cabin is suddenly illuminated by the green and blue LEDs flashing inside her exposed torso. It's a hauntingly beautiful scene. A beautiful woman who is actually a vessel of wires and data, recharging her soul while her biological family sleeps at her feet. She stares out the window at the blizzard, her mind processing weather patterns and survival probabilities. She is the bridge between the organic and the artificial, a guardian angel made of copper and code. Deep in the night, the weather takes a deadly turn. A whiteout blizzard hits the cabin, dropping temperatures to near -90 degrees. The wooden walls shake, and the fire begins to die out. The dogs are shivering, huddled together in a pile of fur, whimpering as the cold penetrates the room. Eva detects their dropping body temperatures. Her logic processors calculate a 90% chance of hypothermia for the pack. She has to make a choice. Eva disconnects from the generator. She sits on the floor and calls the dogs to her. They crawl over, seeking any source of heat. Eva initiates a dangerous protocol: thermal overdrive. She intentionally overclocks her internal processors. The wires in her stomach begin to glow a blindingly bright orange. Her cooling fans stop, trapping the heat inside her body. She becomes a living radiator. It is damaging her systems. Warnings flash across her vision, telling her that her circuits are melting, but she does not stop. She wraps her arms around the dogs, burying them in her coat, pressing them against the warmth of her exposed, glowing machinery. The dogs stop shivering. They fall asleep to the hum of her straining engine. Eva sits there, statuesque and silent, sacrificing her own longevity to keep these fragile biological lives warm. As the storm rages outside, attempting to freeze everything in its path, it fails to break the resolve of the machine. In this moment, looking at her, protecting her pack, you have to ask yourself, does having a soul require a beating heart? Or is love simply the willingness to break yourself to save another? In the frozen silence of Siberia, Eva has given us the answer.